Okay, so hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know who I am, my name is Mei Ling, and if you're new to this channel, please like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, and if you're not new, just like and comment. But today's video is really gonna be about a story time about when I got my tongue pierced in school. Yes, I said it, in school. So without further ado, we're gonna get straight into this video. Y'all should try these. I don't know if these are new, but they're new to me and they taste mad good. Basically, I think I was in 9th grade and I just had this, like, ever since I was young, like, I'm still young, but ever since like I was like 10, you know, on social media, I seen girls with tongue rings, and back then it was like really popping, and I always wanted a tongue ring ever since I seen it. So I've been fiending to get a tongue ring. I said when I get of age, I'm definitely getting a tongue ring. So cool. When I got into 9th grade, I wanted a tongue ring so bad that I got a tongue ring. So I think I was in 10th grade. One of these grades, 9th or 10th grade. I was in 10th grade, I believe. Yeah, because it was a specific art class that I was in. So in 10th grade, I met this girl. We're gonna call her Amanda. So I met this girl named Amanda, and we sat across from each other, and I don't know, like, we were sitting across each other in art class, and I was talking to my friends at the time. So I asked her, you know, I called her name. No, I asked her what her name was, because I didn't know her. She didn't know me. She told me her name. I was like, oh my god, how old are you? She was like, I'm such and such age. I think at the time in 10th grade, we were probably like, I would say 16. No, it was like 14, 15. I don't remember exactly. I think I'm overdoing that. I don't remember. So we was like mad young. So I'm asking her age, and she told me her age. And I'm like, oh my god, like, you're that age and they're piercing you? And she's like, no, I did them myself. So I'm like, oh, word? I'm like, oh, shoot, like, you do piercings? Like, I'll pay you to do a piercing for me. So she's like, all right. Like, she kind of looked a little hesitant, like she didn't want to, but I was like kind of pushing the issue because I wanted to get my tongue pierced. She finally gave in. She was like, yeah. She was like, I'll do it. She was like, when do you want it done? I said, well, how much are you going to charge me? I think she wanted to do it for free, or I don't remember how it went, but I think she wanted to do it for free or whatever. But to make a long story short, I gave her $15 for it. So basically, at this time, I was living with my brother, and I wasn't allowed to have piercings. But I was trying to make a plan to get this piercing. I heard that, like, when you have a tongue ring, you could get a clear bar as a retainer. It's a retainer tongue ring, whatever. So it's a clear bar that you put in after your swelling goes down, and it helps you to hide the tongue ring. So I'm just like, all right, so I'm gonna buy this before I get my tongue pierced, so when the swelling goes down, I could just slip this in. So I was making all these plans. Like, it was a clear bar, and then it was also I think it was called a retainer tongue ring because it looked like a dome, and then it was flat, so it just sat on your tongue. So when you open your mouth, you couldn't see a bowl or anything. It just was flat. He ended up going to China for like this basketball ball thing or whatever the case may be with his friends. So I'm just like, okay, so he's not gonna be home for X amount of time, for a couple of months. So he wasn't gonna be home for like 3 months. So that will give me enough time for my tongue to heal. So basically, he went to China, and I think a few weeks later after that, I ended up getting my tongue pierced. So how this happened, we was in art class at this point, and I told her that I want it done today. So she was like, all right. She was like, when do you want to do it? I'm like, I don't know. When do you want to do it? So she told me after school. So I'm like, all right, that's not bad. So after school isn't bad. So she was like, all right, so meet me here. So basically we met in the lobby when she told me to meet her. And we met in the lobby and we walked our way to the gym locker room. When we got to the gym locker room, the way the gym is set up is like, these are the lockers. Like, you walk into the gym and these are the lockers. And then when you go all the way to the back, it's like the showers or whatever. And then there's another locker room. So it's the showers and the locker room kind of mixed together. So we went into the showers, and mind you, it wasn't even light. So it was no lights on, nothing, because it's the end of the day, so everything is about to get closed. So we're in the showers together or whatever, and I'm sitting on the bench. And she goes to her bag and she starts pulling out the jewelry and the thing to clamp your tongue, and then needles and stuff. So she's showing me that they're new needles and that they're sterilized, whatever the case may be. But when she pulled out the bar was mad small. And me fiending to get my tongue pierced, I was just like, we just gonna do this. I don't give a fuck. So I didn't really like let it register. I was just so hyped to get it done. So she made me pull out my tongue. She dried my tongue or whatever. You know, she did it the way piercers do tongue rings. So she put the needle through. And like, honestly, it was a good job. She did like this. Tripped so fucking hard. Alright, we outside. She put the needle through. And then she started getting the jewelry. Putting the jewelry on. But the crazy thing, but the crazy thing about it is that when she started putting jewelry on, she started getting all jittery and shaky. So I'm just like, oh my God, like, I'm kind of panicking because it's like, this don't go right. I'm not gonna have a tongue ring. Like, I'm feeling to have a tongue ring. So she finally get the jewelry in the hoop in the hole. She finally get the jewelry in the hole, and like, it feels a little taut. Like, not taut, tight. So I'm not thinking nothing of it. I'm just like, all right, cool. Like, I got my tongue pierced. I'm excited. At this time, I had a girlfriend, so I sent the picture to my girlfriend, and I was like, look, I just got my tongue pierced. She's like, oh my God, da da da. Like, we was both excited in a way, and then she was like, you got it done in school? I'm like, yeah, I got it done in school. I was really excited. So after that, after she finished, I gave her $15, literally $15. I told her thank you. And I left out. Me, like, I did my little research on tongue rings and stuff. My little stupid ass didn't do enough because obviously the bar was too small and it was just outrageous. So as I'm walking home with my girlfriend at the time, we're gonna call her T. We're gonna call her T. So as I'm walking home with T, I grabbed my phone because now it's like my tongue is starting to swell up, so I'm starting to feel pain. So I pull my phone out and I go to the camera and I see that my tongue is like mad swollen. So I'm just like, all right, this don't feel right. I can't really talk. And obviously when you first get a tongue ring, you could talk, but not really because it's like the swelling. But not all tongue rings do that. Not all, I can't explain it, but I'll explain it later on. So basically, yeah, so I couldn't really talk that well. So I'm just like, all right, so my tongue is just swollen. So it's probably just like that because, I got a period. So I'm looking at it, and then I lift up my tongue, but my tongue was bleeding. So I'm just like, oh my God. So now I'm looking at where she pierced, and it looked like she pierced the vein. So I'm panicking. I'm like, oh my God, I'm about to die. Like, my tongue is bleeding uncontrollably. It won't stop. Da da da. So I'm like, nah, we gotta take this shit out. And mind you, this is literally a few minutes after she pierced it. So I'm like, oh my God, we gotta take this shit out. Like, this gotta come out. I'm just like, I read that if you pierce a vein, you could probably die. So I go and take that shit out because I'm like, bitch, I ain't gonna die today. No, he is not dying today. So I took it out. And basically, when I got it out, it kept bleeding. It just kept bleeding. So my thing was to just suck the blood, just keep sucking the blood until it stopped bleeding. So eventually it stopped bleeding, and I went home, I washed my mouth out or whatever, and that was just it. I forgot to say in the video, when I went home and washed my tongue out, everything was kind of back to normal. The only thing was my tongue was still swollen, and it didn't hurt, but like it hurt to touch, and I couldn't really eat the way I wanted to. But then after a few days, the swelling went down like normal. Get your tongue pierced by nobody. That's not professional. This is just me. I'm a very impulsive thinker, so I just do things that I put my mind to. That's not always good. Just saying. But what I was saying before, because when I got my tongue pierced professionally by this girl, she didn't use, I think the little clamps also make your tongue swell up, because she didn't use clamps and she just stuck the needle right through. But she didn't, normally, like when your tongue swells, you gotta use a bar so that your tongue, so when it swells, it's like it won't irritate. But when she did it, it's like she pierced it, the professional, she pierced my tongue, but she pierced it with a regular bar, and it wasn't swollen. It didn't hurt, nothing. I was talking regular. But the other time, when I got it done on Jamaica Avenue, they pierced my tongue with the clamps, and they used a bigger bar, and my tongue was like swollen. I couldn't talk at all. I got my tongue pierced like 4 times. I'm not even gonna lie. That's another story time. But anyways, so this is the last of the video. I hope you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and just stay tuned for more videos that I got coming. So, bye.